Hey there, Philos here. This video is going to be on monster progression and greater rifts. So a lot of people wonder, how much progression does each monster give, and what are the good monsters? Which monsters do you want to skip? What kind of monsters do you want to kill for sure? So, Vocaloid here on the Demon Hunter forums. He's a Demon Hunter friend of mine, and always useful providing information. So huge thanks and shout out to Vocaloid for this information here that he has collected. He says it's not exactly complete. There are some monsters maybe that he left out, some minor errors or whatever, but it's a very good frame of reference. It's nice to have as a guideline to know which monsters are good. So I'm going to give you guys a link to this thread as well as this Google Doc in the description, so you guys can check that out. I'm just going to kind of mention a couple things. I'm not going to go through and talk about every single monster, but I'm going to kind of touch a couple things. Which the first thing I want to mention is the Dark Vessels. These guys actually transform into unholy thralls. If you like aggro them and wait a minute, they will transform into these thralls, which give multiple times more progression. So a lot of times you'll see me and other people on streams or in videos doing greater rifts. You'll literally just like hit the monster and then stand around for a few moments to let him transform, just to get that extra value from the monsters. So definitely worth waiting if you get a little group of those. And some other things I want to kind of touch base on are mobs that are maybe undertuned and mobs that are maybe overtuned, just kind of like at first glance, in my opinion, kind of thing. These are the ghost monsters that drain your life, and there's really no way to avoid the damage that they do. And so I would consider this a highly aggressive monster that gives very little credit. Exarchs are going to be similar. Highly aggressive, don't give much credit. Winged Assassins are going to be another good example of a very aggressive mob type that don't give good credit. And, I mean, this is Anarchs here, also kind of undertuned with the credit. Corrupt Angel as well. And, these are comparing to monsters like the Abomination or something, which is like the fat guys that just kind of run around, which are worth twice as much credit as a Corrupt Angel, for example. So, this is a highly aggressive monster, and these are basically punching bags. So questionable balancing here. The thralls as well. I mean, it really makes no sense for them to transform and give so much more credit. And then a lot of these monsters I feel like are overtuned, or all of the aggressive monsters are undertuned. I mean, here you have the red zombie worth 0.5%. Again, comparing to like a winged assassin that's worth less than 2%. So, it takes multiple winged assassins to add up to one zombie. And then here, these are like the really juicy mobs, the best in slot, like the Unburied and the Hulks, Maggot Lords, Mallet Lords, Maggot Broods. Punishers are also really good. They're easy to avoid, not very fast, not very aggressive. I would consider this one of the, these are the best mobs that you can get. Mallet Lords, again, kind of hard for melee to deal with, potentially, but it's still reasonably slow and easy to avoid mobs that give, a whole 1+% per monster, so kind of silly here. And then, he's got little information like this, the Death Maiden. These guys spawn monsters after they die that actually don't give any progression, so little things like that. It's kind of like why. And then you got the zombies minions that count for days, as well as the skeleton summoners. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to kind of get this information out there a little bit more. I know a lot of people are already familiar with a lot of these things, but this is the most accurate compilation that I've seen of monster progression. So, big thanks again to Vocaloid for providing this information. And yeah, I hope that helps. I thought this was quite valuable, useful. So, there you go. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.